in our homes in Puerto Rico, Rincon, and it was difficult to leave it. But we are floored. We're totally bowled over by everybody's efforts and love and support that have come, that we've seen on social media. I can't even begin to describe the emotions that we've been feeling. So it's very bittersweet. We've got a lot to do still.
It's a little overwhelming currently,
but
we're definitely excited to be here.
We're really excited to be here, definitely.
We live down there for work, and I work from home, but we live and work in Rincon, and so we've been there for about a year now, and the kids go to school there and everything, and then the hurricane hit, and after a few days, it seemed like things weren't actually going to be improving at the speed. Yeah, there's no power.
And so, no, the first one had power.
Right. The first Hurricane Irma passed and wasn't so bad, but then Maria came through and it was a lot more difficult. And after we realized that the power wasn't going to come back and the water wasn't coming back and the gas wasn't coming back and communications weren't up and these sorts of things, it became a lot more difficult to think about weathering the storm there.
When we're going to go back to Puerto Rico?
I mean, the biggest thing is just the lack of distribution of the provisions to the public. So, people are lining up for gas for literally half the day. They have to sit there, and then they can get longer, and they can, they'll spend the night there, and then they can get about $10 worth of gas in the morning, that sort of thing. People don't know where to get fresh drinking water. People are going to the natural springs to fill up drinking water. Things like that, and there's just a lot of, there's a big rumor mill going around because of the lack of communications, and so it's a little bit difficult just because of the lack of communication, and it would be a perfect time for people to kind of step up and really get these distribution efforts under control. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I mean, the electricity thing, I think, that's tough, but when people have generators and that sort of thing, they can get through it. I mean, the real difficult thing is the lack of communication and the lack of water, for obvious reasons. And yeah, I mean, the few calls I was able to make via satellite phone, I would get more information than anything I actually knew from anything going on the island. So I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know what's been going on social media or the communications or that sort of thing, so I would love to be able to tell an avenue, but the biggest thing is to raise awareness, I think, and that, show that what's going on in Puerto Rico is a real thing. These are, U.S. citizens that need help, and I would just love to see the same efforts being made in Houston and in Louisiana and in Puerto Rico. I think that, and from Irma and Florida and those sorts of things, I mean, that's the kind of help that they need down there. No,
I mean, like I said, it was probably the most overwhelming but heartwarming, emotional time. We basically, the first time we got internet and just the floods of texts and WhatsApps, and I went on Facebook, but then had to switch it off because it was, I just couldn't believe it. And we have so many people to thank, like all over the world, from St. Petersburg to here, in Fort Lauderdale to California to, I have a friend in Malaysia,
Malaysia, everywhere. Like, really amazing outpouring of support.
It's insane, and I think our job now, as we are back on in the United States, is to continue to bring awareness and hopefully with the money that's being raised to make sure that supplies are getting to the people that need it, and folks that need to come back to the U.S. Yeah, there you go. And our dog too, so.
I mentioned wanted to mention that, and also Mayor Kreisman, who just, I mean, it's amazing the support we've received, and the fact that they were able to do that for us. I mean, and especially that they were able to do that means that we're going to be able to use the money that was raised already to the people still on the island, to the people who really need it. And we're really excited to be doing that, and we really hope that, like I said, we could raise awareness in order to do that. That's, a big primary concern right now. Just a night, and then we're going to stay with my parents in California for a little while. And, the plan is to go back to Puerto Rico as soon as we're able. We obviously have to figure out things on this end and see what happens, but we're very excited to get back there as soon as we can. And Los Angeles.
It's been a long journey. The folks, the pilots of Fly Tropic have been amazing. Our family for 2 days, and just incredible. And we're exhausted, but so blessed, and privileged and lucky. And yeah, now we need to concentrate on the folks in Puerto Rico. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking the effort too.
All right.